Number 7, Grandma was a Rolling Stone with Rue McClanahan from the Golden Girls. I love that Mr. Feeney's like getting Sean and Corey to like get the snails off his roses. Oh, you can use it for bait when you go fishing. And Alan's like, fish don't eat snails. And he's like, ha ha ha. And then like he's showing Alan how to cast the rod and the fishing rod, and he hits it, nails it right away. And it's just like, I think this was the episode where I feel like Mr. Feeney became a little more likable, like more like a neighbor, like he was closer to the family than we had seen in previous episodes. Because he's a little more likable in this scene. I'm surprised that Alan was like so like kind of rude for Mr. Feeney's fishing story, but then he's like, "Oh well, Eric's not going with us because he's discovered girls. When you discover girls, I'll take Morgan." It's the endless cycle. Well, what happens when Morgan doesn't want to go? I guess there'll be some old guy in a fishing hat telling boring stories, looking at Mr. Feeney. I get the joke was full circle. I always thought it was funny that Eric used Morgan to meet girls. It is kind of cute. And I love that Eric, even though he's older, he's like, it's Grandma. She plays a pretty funky grandma. The whole interaction between Eric and Mr. Feeney about Mr. Feeney's niece. I love that. I think that is almost like the foundation of where their kind of relationship starts to progress throughout the season. Backing up, I do like when Corey was like, Eric, I feel like you and I are growing apart. When he's talking about the girls and Corey talking about the baseball card. When Eric sees Mr. Feeney's niece, girl, weasel, minute ding, minute ding. Oh my god, the way Eric just like, hey, hello, Mr. Feeney, how can I help you in the garden today? When he throws that bag of fertilizer. Oh my god. This is my brother Eric. He's very shy. Mr. Feeney's like, speaking of fertilizer. Carrie Russell was so funny in this. Oh, she's so cute. Oh, you couldn't be falling for this, Mr. Feeney says. Oh, Eric's taking me to the carnival today. Looks like your parrot learned some new tricks. I love when Mr. Feeney's like, well, the polite thing to do would be to ask me if I want to come. And Eric's like, okay, do you want to come? No, thank you so much. I'd rather have gum surgery. Did you know your husband's cheating on me with someone else's son? Great line. Gary Russell and Will were so cute together in this scene. Morgan's all like, got everything she wanted today. Corey's just up there. Corey's face when Eric kisses her. Oh my gosh. And then here come Alan and Sean from their camping trip. And we're just passing through. And Sean's like, hi, Eric, the Limb Master. Corey's like, everybody have a great day without me. Eric's all, how long have you been up there? Long enough to see you swap spit with his Beanie. Beanie's niece. Nice. Most beautiful girl I've ever kissed. What puts her to a list of 2? Ooh. It's not a spectator sport. I love when they start clapping like it is. Corey, no one stole your dad. You forgot to call your friend, say you weren't going to go fish. But I do like when Sean's like, night, Dad. So many muffins. I like the story that Alan tells Corey about his mom, Corey's grandma. It kind of illustrates different love languages, how people show their love differently. Alan vouching for Eric as he gets ran off by Feeney. Keep your son and his hormones in this house. And that whole interaction between the grandma and Mr. Feeney is great. Okay, so Grandma was a Rolling Stone. 7, episode 7. Let's see. Andy would totally have a rock show. I can see that. I love it. Yes, definitely shout out to the single parents. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how any parent does it, even if you do have a parent, another spouse or a significant other to help you. Like, shout out to all of y'all. I really love that Lauren is just a fan guest because she really seems to have a love for the show, and that's really special to see it through any fan's eyes because every fan experience is unique. Let's see. I kind of wonder, did Lauren possibly have a crush on Sean at one point? I mean, maybe not, but hey, it kind of sounded like maybe she did back in the day. I did not know that Nikki Cox was engaged to Bobcat. Oh my God, like I'm a little bit traumatized by that because I used to watch that show and that's just like blowing my mind. Unless they were joking. Maybe they were joking about the Wikipedia. I don't know. Did I miss that? But seriously, like that's traumatizing. I think it's cute that her and Eric dated though. It's very cute. Yeah, I'm probably going to say it a lot, but like, Eric and Feeney really was my favorite relationship on the show and how it progressed. And it was just great. Because this is like the episode where it really kind of starts. Like, I feel like this is the episode where their kind of relationship starts getting a little more on solid footing, maybe. I like that, Danielle stood up for herself on the pay disparity because that is really criminal, and I love that her agent went to bat for her and even her dad. It's really nice to have support. And I watched Golden Girls as a kid too, so I know I wasn't the only one. And yeah, like I said, I mean, Feeney was a lot more personable in this episode. He really was. And yes, I mean, the shirts, the vests, the hoodies. What was up with the layering? Like, I don't think... Did any other show do it to this degree? Because, like, I don't remember if they did. And, yeah, I did still kind of think it was weird that, like, Amy was fine with, Eric using Morgan to get girls. I mean, it's a little unusual. It always struck me as kind of like, okay, she's totally cool with this. And I personally like the joke from Eric to Feeney about dating a young girl because only because it is a glimpse of the goofy Eric, moment, because he gets so much goofier as the years progress and he's just doing Eric things, and like that's just, I feel like that was kind of a glimpse of the goofy Eric kind of ideology. Carrie Russell did have amazing hair. Like, it's no wonder her cutting it made the news, because that was in a time when things like that didn't normally make the news. Like, stuff like that kind of makes the news all the time nowadays, but back then it wasn't like that. So yeah, that was a huge deal. And Will's scene with the tossing the bag was pretty great. It's amazing to hear him say he did it so many times because honestly, he really did make it look natural. And I personally liked the gum surgery joke from Feeney. I thought that was funny. I can remember always kind of thinking like Amy really didn't necessarily get the credit she deserved. I always felt like Amy kind of was overshadowed because she really was a solid anchor to Russ and the family dynamic. Lauren did make a good point that they framed flaky grandma with an almost positive spin because they really could have taken that a different direction. And yeah, Corey was a little bit extra about Sean and his dad going fishing, but it's still comedic because of the way he delivers lines. He was really good at that. And I didn't realize a good kiss means tongue. That was hilarious. Kissing as an actor really seems like just the most awkward event ever. And yeah, I still like Corey's comment, you swap spit with a Feeney. And I never really thought about the idea that Sean kind of eats everything as a hint to his home life. Maybe he didn't get enough food at home kind of deal. I never really saw it that way, but it's kind of a good point. Going back to Amy kind of being overshadowed, or Betsy, they could have totally made that her mom instead. So it's another really good point. And while Danielle's POV point was really valid regarding the grandmother, I'm going to kind of come at it from a different perspective, because the problem with a lot of people that you can't count on is that they usually don't make it up to you. And it sounds like, she did. Like, now granted, yes, that is a POV that he took away. It could have been more negative, and I get what Danielle's saying, but it's been my experience when people let you down, they don't usually make it up to you on the regular, and it sounds like the mom did. So I feel like that's why he can impart that POV onto his son, because grandma may not come through when or how you think she's going to, but she will. And a lot of people that let you down don't usually do that. So is it side yard or backyard? I swear I don't think we'll ever know. And as a side note, speaking of side things, just, fun fact, in northern areas, they usually don't have either high fences or any fences, because we're in areas where it snows a lot, the fences just get broken or messed up anyway. So there's like no point in having a fence. So it would be pretty natural to not even have a fence, or just have a really low one like they do on the show. I think Rue and Bill would have been a really funny combination together. I think they, like I said, they would have been a good at odds with each other. I think that would have been fun. They had good energy in that one scene at the end. And I think the expensive baseball card is just another illustration of another love language. So it's kind of cool. And I'm always stunned when I hear somebody that doesn't like the MCU. But I'm sure the Star Wars fans probably feel the same way about someone not being into their fandom. It's just a thing. But yay, I caught up. I told you I'd catch up. It was crazy. I don't think I'll do this again, but my love for Boy Meets World pushed me, gave me the momentum. I was like, I am going to catch up with this podcast. And now I'm caught up, y'all. So thanks for being here. I am glad you tuned in. Give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I will see you next week.